it's very, very bad for both of them. Meghan, who screamed, "Don't leave me, don't leave me," and Harry, who actually has leaned on his mother-in-law to be helpful emotionally to him. But she's going.
So we've known for some time that things aren't great between Meghan Markle and her own mother, Doria Ragland. She has been completely miserable in the last couple of public appearances that the fake Duchess forced on her. First on her Netflix series with Love Meghan. Second, in an Instagram post where she mocked her daughter, who, let's be honest, is a total pain in the behind. But it was probably during Meghan Markle's interview with Tina Knowles where it became clear just how tense relations are between mother and daughter, when Meghan unwittingly revealed to the world that her mum had decided to attend the Beyoncé concert without her and without even telling her. Now, I knew things were getting pretty stark, but now it has emerged that the strain is so bad that Doria Ragland has said enough is enough. I'm moving out of Montecito for good. And it's pretty brutal, actually, because Radar Online have reported that Meghan Markle has now been abandoned by her mom after the Duchess begged, "Don't leave me." I'll take you through this reporting. It is from Matthew Acton, who is a very experienced UK news reporter, who has revealed Meghan Markle howled, "Don't leave me," as her mother, Doria Ragland, moved out of her and her henpecked husband, Prince Harry's Montecito mansion, RadarOnline.com can reveal. The departure came after Diva Duchess Meghan used her mom to care for her kids, and sources tell us even her own mother got so sick of her constant moaning and drama she had to flee the luxury home. Insiders say Ragland's departure has left Markle 43 and Prince Harry 40 struggling to adjust without her. The 68-year-old yoga teacher had moved into the Sussex's sprawling Californian mansion in 2024 to help them through a difficult patch marked by professional setbacks and personal challenges. That's the understatement of the year. The tight-knit mother-daughter bond strengthened during this time, with Ragland providing a steady presence in the home she shared with Markle, Harry, and their two children, Archie and Lily. Now, after roughly 18 months, Ragland has returned to her own residence in Los Angeles, leaving the couple bereft, according to sources. One insider close to the family told us Doria was a steady support for Harry and Meghan during a tough time. She provided them with much-needed emotional strength, but she has her own life and social code, and she was getting sick of her daughter's constant moaning and dramas. Meghan is deeply upset about her mother leaving. She even pleaded, "Don't leave me," as she walked out the door with her suitcases. Harry also regarded Doria as a mother figure, and both are feeling her absence. Our source added, Doria is happy with how the family is doing now. She's ready to concentrate on her own life, but remains a key part of the family. She plans to visit often, but won't be living with them full-time again. Our insider said the pair are totally lost, and Meghan must be thinking something is deeply wrong if even her own mom can't stand to live with her in a huge mansion. But the key point is, she got sick of the constant moaning and the drama, so she had to flee. And can you blame her? Can you really blame her? Because Doria Ragland has stayed massively loyal to Meghan. She drank the Kool-Aid for a period. She even was used as propaganda in the Netflix documentary series. But since then, like the rest of the world, she's seen how her daughter's lies have been exposed. She's seen how her daughter...
I humbly request you all, if you're watching this, please consider subscribing to my channel. Your support helps us bring out the stories that the mainstream media won't touch. Turn on notifications and let's get into today's explosive episode.
Uses people. She's seen how her daughter treats people, and as a calm yogi, she simply doesn't want to put up with it. Now, I would argue Doria had actually enabled a lot of this bad behavior by Meghan, and I would also argue that Doria should absolutely have stepped in when Meghan Markle decided to kick her father to the curb. Because if there's one human being in the world who knows that Thomas Markle was the main caregiver to Meghan during her very difficult teenage years, it's Doria. Because we must never forget, Doria has a track record of running off and disappearing for years at a time. Now, I'm not criticizing Doria for that. Fine, you make your choices. However, I do believe that it was Doria's responsibility to ensure that Meghan didn't treat her father the way that she is now treating her. Angela Levin, our royal mastermind and Prince Harry's biographer, joins us now.
Imagine the woman who stood by your side through the chaos, suddenly walking out the door. That's exactly what just happened in Montecito. Doria Ragland, Meghan Markle's once loyal mother, has finally said enough is enough. For 18 months, she held the family together, helped raise Archie and Lilibet, and even supported Prince Harry like a second son. But behind the walls of their lavish mansion, something was breaking. Meghan, known for her controlling nature, reportedly leaned heavily on her mother not just as a grandmother, but as full-time support. The tension, it wasn't new. Sources say Doria had grown tired of Meghan's constant complaining, diva demands, and emotional drama. And when even your own mother decides she's better off without you, you know something's deeply wrong. What pushed Doria over the edge? And what does this mean for Harry and Meghan now that their emotional backbone has walked away?
Now, Angela, things haven't been good for some time between Doria and Meghan Markle, have they? It's been very obvious in Doria's couple of brief appearances on Meghan's media projects that she's just not interested. She doesn't like being dragged into the spotlight and used in the same way. And then, of course, we listened to that Tina Knowles podcast where it was like, oh no, my mum just decided to go to Beyonce without me. And that was a real key.
You're a mother and you've got children, and your mother will help you look after them, or indeed on their own. You feel terrific. You feel strong. You don't worry about the children. You know that they're honest. You know that they would behave like you would like them. So it's also a thrill for the mother because it's lovely to have grandchildren. So at the beginning of these relationships, they're lovely. Everybody's happy and the children are growing and all that. But if you start taking advantage of the mother, then things get bad because they do need to have a life, as it is said. And then you can start disagreeing, one about, complaining when you've got this absolutely amazing home and so much that you can do, and you just get fed up with it. And she does have friends, but she can't see them because she's very responsible for Meghan and Harry's. She wouldn't have minded, and she didn't mind, to be very comforting to them. As I said, they both felt that they were sort of both of their mothers, and they could look after them. But after a while that gets boring and you've got to sort of learn to stand on your own 2 feet. And she just got fed up because if she just listens to these moans, and if actually that Meghan is actually not looking after her children either, and she just leaves it all to her mother, and when she's going out or when she's going away, she expects her mother to be there, not go off and not do anything. She wanted to do things. I think she was quite right not to say where she was going to watch a show. Why should she say? She's not an au pair, is she? She's not a nanny. She wants to go somewhere, she should. And I think she's got fed up with Meghan being a sort of a grandiose human being and not accepting that she would like to do her own things. If she still wants to do yoga, but she can't, because if Meghan said, I'm going out, you'll have to be here. So it must have, over the time, got very, very annoying for her. And actually, I think there is a step of real kindness there when she says she's very pleased how they're living now. But so she feels she's ready to go back. But we all know it's very, very bad for both of them. Meghan, who was screamed, don't leave me, don't leave me. And Harry, who actually has leaned on his mother-in-law to be helpful emotionally to him. But she's going, and I don't think that she thinks everything's very good, but I think she's doing that out of politeness and love for her daughter.
Yeah, I mean, look, it can't be easy We learned from those reports emanating from the Sussex Survivors Club earlier this week, Angela, that when Harry's around, Meghan controls some of her worst behavior, especially with the staff. Do you think Doria has that moderating influence too, or does she just act like the diva that she is even around her own mother?
Well, she probably is so used to being a diva that she would be shouting at her mother, "Why didn't you put them on this toast? Why haven't you played them? Why haven't they had their breakfast, dinner, supper, tea?" She would get cross and start treating her as if she was employed. And she decided that she didn't want that. The one thing I don't quite believe in is that she feels that the family is in good condition now, because if anything, it seems worse. And the fact that Meghan shouted, "Don't leave me, don't leave me," shows you that she is very desperate. We don't know if Meghan actually does anything very much with the children because she's out and about and all that. But, if she gets cross with her mother, because she's not doing things exactly what she writes at the right time, she might have started shouting at her like she'd had.
Think back to Meghan's glitzy Netflix series. Doria appeared smiling, but many say it was forced. Then came the Instagram post, a public jab at her own mother. And in the Tina Knowles podcast, Meghan casually revealed Doria went to a Beyoncé concert without telling her. That wasn't just a scheduling issue, that was a red flag. A quiet rebellion. A mother choosing independence over her daughter's drama. For years, Doria stayed silent while Meghan waged public wars with her father, her in-laws, and the media. But now, Doria has made her own quiet exit. No press releases, no staged photos, just packed bags and a one-way trip back to Los Angeles. This wasn't just a personal decision. It was a statement.
Has done with other staff, and her mother thinks, this is enough. She can't talk to me like that. Who does she think she is? And so she doesn't want to do it like that anymore. And she might want to do yoga. She might want to actually have a life. She's 68 and she might want to do lots of other things. And she has helped enormously. And she's helped Meghan go out and feel at ease that her mother is there looking after the children. The children probably love her very much. But you have to understand that your mother isn't a slave and she's not going to do all that work for you, however lovely it is. It's tiring. As for Meghan's father, I don't really know what the relationship was before they divorced. And if she didn't like him so much and his behavior so much, she might not have done anything with Meghan about behaving better and looking after him and actually being kind and even seeing him.
See, my
and
understanding
speaking
is
to
that
the
they had a
children.
very cordial, positive relationship and they still spoke, and actually it never turned bitter or nasty. That was always my understanding of it. And Thomas used to, if he was in California, would deliver gifts to Doria and that sort of thing. So I always think the relationship was positive actually between Doria and Thomas, probably in part because, of course, Meghan Markle wanted the two of them to get along. Then, Angela, there's been some other news which is not particularly positive for Meghan, which is that Prince Harry is now planning a solo UK visit without her. Now, let me just take you through a little bit of this from the Daily Express, which says Prince Harry is determined to mend his relationship with the royal family, but he's planning on doing so without his wife, Meghan Markle, sources have claimed. The Duke has been estranged from the royals for a number of years now. His relationship with his royal relatives deteriorated after his bombshell 2020 exit. Of course, we know all of that. But the Duke made his wish clear that he wants to reconcile with them. I mean, look, I think it's sort of irrelevant whether Meghan goes or not. I don't think there's going to be a big reconciliation. But did you think this was significant at all, Angela?
No, I think that's nonsense because what's he going to do? Charles is not wanting someone there who upsets him while he's still got cancer, and Camilla will make sure as well about that. What's he going to do? Go and start banging on the doors. He's not going to be invited, I'm sure, at the moment. Bang, 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 I demand to see my father. That doesn't make sense. And if it is, you have to wait until the Invictus Games, which is in 2 years' time. We don't know what's going to happen there. Lots of people are writing about that. But for me, it doesn't make sense. We don't know how well the king will be. We don't know how you can actually start making up at a place like that when there's loads of things going on all the time. You can't. Will the children be there? I don't think so. Will Meghan be there? No, she doesn't want to, but she does want to be there to give the speeches. She likes doing that and taking over and walking in front of people who've won an award and all that. I don't see how he can do that. It doesn't make any sense to me. He might want to go up, and then people might just say that's happening, but I don't think it will be. And if his father does go to the Invictus Games, it will be very superficial because he'll sit there, he'll watch it. You can bet your luck that he'll go back to see Camilla because she will be 80 in the week that's actually the Invictus Games taking place. And he won't want to hang around. He'll go by helicopter. He's not going to go by car and talk to Harry on the way. So it's all very easy to say he's going to do it. But when you actually look at it and try and dissect it, you realize it's incredibly difficult because it's also taking away the attention of Invictus Games and these people who gave their lives to work very hard and are now damaged physically and mentally. I don't think that's the right way of dealing with it. You can't take that thing and make it something that he and his father's doing so that nobody looks at the people who were there giving their lives to the country. I mean, it's just not an rational way of saying things. And we don't know how the king is going to be till then. And I'm quite sure that if William has taken over by then, and I hope that doesn't happen, he's not actually going to join in.
No way. Absolutely not. No way. He ain't joining in. But first, we've been told our whole lives that wrinkle creams were the easiest way to look younger. Now one doctor says, that's nothing but old news. According to Dr. John Lake, the world-renowned Beverly Hills beauty expert, most wrinkle fixers on the market are nothing but glorified moisturizers. He says they hardly make a dent on your appearance. Some, check this out, can even be harmful to your skin. Recently, Dr. Lake has focused his attention away from mainstream cosmetic practices so he can pursue a revolutionary anti-aging breakthrough, one that some experts say could empty the wallets of the cosmetic industry. He describes it as almost like Photoshop for your face and says you may even be mad after seeing how easy it is to visibly erase your wrinkles from view. His personal clients have dubbed his new do-it-yourself technique the age rewinder method because it can take years or even decades off your appearance in under 2 minutes. In light of this amazing breakthrough, Dr. Lake has released a step-by-step video to the public. It's free, it's uninterrupted, where he outlines exactly how to use this simple solution from home. And he says if it helps even one person look younger or feel more confident, he will be thrilled knowing he helped. The video has since gone viral. At first, it was shared by users on Facebook, but since then, it's racked up over 2.3 million views and counting. The comments and feedback have been outstanding, with thousands of women reporting they look decades younger. One even commented, best results of anything I've used. I can't believe how well this works. I'll never stop using this. I don't understand how it works, but the results are great. Thank you. So you can find out more about this yourself right now. Just go to bhmd1.com/outspoken. That's bhmd1.com/outspoken, or click on the link in the description box below. Now, there is one thing Dr. Lake asks from his viewers. If watching this video helps you look and feel younger than you have in years, then please share this video with your friends and loved ones. Together, we have the power to help as many women reclaim a youthful look as possible. So go watch the video at bhmd1.com/outspoken right now, or just click on the link in the description box below. But now,
When Radar Online broke the story, the world was stunned. Meghan Markle, once called a strong, independent woman, was reportedly howling like a child. "Don't leave me!" as Doria walked out. Harry, too, is struggling. He had grown close to Doria, relying on her emotional support while his relationship with the royal family shattered. But insiders say Meghan didn't just expect help. She demanded it. Doria was allegedly expected to babysit full-time, handle household duties, and be available at Meghan's beck and call. Eventually, even a calm yoga teacher like Doria had to draw the line. And now, with their emotional anchor gone, Meghan and Harry are reportedly totally lost.
Now, back to the show. Angela, look, lots on today on, Meghan's desperate attempts with was never, as Lady Colin Campbell calls as never. So, as ever. So I'll get to what's going on with the wine because she's been posting out the wine to her favourites, Angela. We'll get to that in just one moment. But first, Private Eye. This is interesting. So Private Eye is the left-wing establishment UK news publication. It's always been on the side of Harry and Meghan, right? Always, 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 because it's completely establishment, completely to the left. It's run by that horrible dude Ian Hislop. It's always been totally pro Harry and Meghan. Well, this week, for the first time, it's turned on them and it's over the scam jam, Angela. So let me just read out to you this
That's
new
amazing.
report. I know
That's
it's a
amazing.
big change, isn't it? I mean, even when they've lost Private Eye, Angela. But anyway, here's the report. Jam tomorrow. Meghan Markle's As Ever venture has again been slated for stocking too little product and running out within minutes of launch. But she's not just selling jam. Unlike the vast majority of shopping websites, As Ever didn't initially display a sold-out sign. Instead, it let customers make the full order, including payment details, before emailing them to tell them they were out of luck. Data collected in this way includes contact information such as name, email address, postal address, telephone number, and mobile phone numbers and IP address. It also includes customers' internet activities such as the devices they use, their operating system, the date, time, and location of visits to the site, and a whole load more. Meanwhile, the As Ever privacy page says that it may draw inferences about you, reflecting what we believe to be your preferences, characteristics, predispositions, and attitudes. And unless the user specifically opts out, all this data can be sold to other companies for targeted advertising. It will also be on file should Markle ever decide to sell the firm. The website now appears to be marking stock as sold out in the normal way, of little comfort perhaps to the would-be customers whose data has already been collected. If flogging rebadged tea or rosé wine that's out of stock doesn't make Markle rich, even at $28 plus shipping for a small pot of honey, selling all that customer data could be a different matter. So Angela Levin, that looks dodgy. That looks dodgy. It's like she's collecting.
Angela Levin, a veteran royal biographer, confirmed what many suspected. Doria wasn't just living with them. She was being used. Expected to fill in for Meghan during events, school runs, and dinners, Doria had no freedom. She couldn't see her friends, couldn't do yoga, and couldn't even plan her own schedule without Meghan's approval. That's not family, that's servitude. For a woman who once stood by her daughter when the world was against her, this silent departure speaks volumes. Meghan has now alienated not only her royal in-laws but also the one woman who never left her side, until now.
All of these customers' datas, even though she knew that none of this product was being on display, and she can now sell that data.
I know. You need to run a mile, don't you, when people ask you for all that. And nobody should actually give what they do as activity, their operating system, the date, time, and location of visits to the site. People have got to think, hello, this looks absolutely shocking. I'm not going to tell her this. But with Meghan, she's trying to get money from anywhere it is. Whatever happens, she's trying to get more money. Now, whether this is absolute greed and cleverness that she thinks once she's offered them the jam, but if it's not there, never matter, she'd mind. She's got opportunities to sell them. Or it's actually they're in poor need and they want to try and get some more money. I suspect it's the first one, actually. I think it's just terrible. And when companies do that, I'm not sure that it's legal. I don't know. But actually, to think that they take all this information for people and use it for themselves, knowing in advance that they can't buy what they're after, is, well, disgraceful, isn't
Well,
it?
it's completely, totally immoral, isn't it, Angela? But isn't that
Yes.
the way that she tends to live?
Yes, she does, but she's also got to be careful because she's doing this to people.
At what point does emotional support turn into emotional exhaustion? Meghan reportedly treated her own mother like an employee, snapping at her when things weren't done right, expecting Doria to sacrifice her own life and freedom to manage Meghan's. And Harry? He leaned on Doria as a surrogate mother figure after his fallout with the royal family. But no one asked what Doria needed. No one asked if she was okay. And that's the tragedy here. The woman who gave everything was pushed past her limit. And now she's gone, leaving behind a broken household and two royals who may finally have to face their own issues alone.
She can trip up and find herself going to court and trying to explain what she's doing, and she won't win this time if this is all written down that this is what she was aiming at. You can't. You see, I think one of the problems, with many problems with Meghan, but one of the problems with Meghan is that she doesn't think anybody else is clever or got a good brain. She thinks it's always her. So if she cuts through things, or if she pretends that she's doing one thing and she's doing another, she tells a lie, that we're all idiots and she's the one who's tremendously clever in the whole world.
Now, Angela, she thinks she's very clever again when it comes to the rosé wine as well, because it has been shipped out today. And what's interesting is that Meghan has done this thing of sending the wine specifically to people who are going to love it, because the Daily Mail that just purchased it did not love it. But this is what Nancy Sidley said about it. So Meghan sent her rosé to two pay-to-plays that WME, that's her agency, love using: Town and Country and In Style. In Style is owned by the same publisher as People. Town and Country is a favorite of the Kardashians. Expect positive feedback. And sure enough, Angela, sure enough, the Town and Country review comes in, and it is actually, sorry, not the Town and Country, the In Style review comes in, and it is so positive. It just reads like a piece of paid PR, to the point where As Ever have actually posted it on their Instagram stories. So let me read it out to you, Angela, because it's just so ludicrous. The bottle describes the pour as a delicately balanced rosé with soft notes of stone fruit, gentle minerality, and lasting finish. Beyond the marketing speak, in layman's terms, the rosé is good. My experience with it, it is smooth, almost dangerously smooth, as we finished the whole bottle in one night without even trying. And no, I'm not hungover this morning. Okay, so Meghan's wine is so good according to InStyle. This is wine that leaves you with no hangover. That's a miracle, Angela. It's a miracle. And this review goes on. It goes down easy and is dry and light. To hear my husband describe it, his three adjectives were lively, refreshing, and pleasant. Mine, flavorful, sweet, and enjoyable. And the Puff Pete Scarce works. As Ever isn't going to release a product unless it's good, and this rosé is good. Really good, actually. Made in small batches, the bespoke blend is the first of a collection of wines joining As Ever's lineup, blah-de-blah-de-blah-de-blah. Then, Angela, remember the Daily Mail that didn't get sent the wine, which just bought the wine? They have a very different point of view. So the headline on this day, Meghan Markle's new $30 As Ever rosé wine has finally arrived. Here's the acidic truth about how it really tastes. Royal News Network summed this up, saying, according to the Daily Mail, the wine is not good, nor is the quality near worth the price she's charging. It's a bottom-of-the-barrel tasting wine, which pretty much encompasses the entire brand at this point. And Angela, the review itself says, our first sip left a lot to be desired, as it honestly didn't taste like much. The wine was smooth, but we couldn't easily detect the notes of stone fruit. It also managed to taste quite bland and almost watery. Despite the lack of flavor, the rosé managed to taste quite acidic and like a really strong alcoholic wine.
That's really
Many
funny.
sippers on the female team agreed, and we noticed that it left a somewhat uncomfortable sensation at the back of our throats after swallowing. The wine didn't taste like you bought it at a fancy vineyard where it's supposed to be made. Instead, it tasted affordable and ordinary. It's not bad, but it's not great. Overall, it was pretty commonplace, like a wine you would be served at a work happy hour. Well, Angela, in this case, I believe the Daily Mail. because they
Yes.
paid for it themselves rather than in style, which is clearly being used as paid PR. What do you think?
Oh, yes, 100%. I agree with you. And I think that what's happening is that she's not giving attention to making it really terrific. As long as it's done and it's sent off on the days that she wants it, that's it. It doesn't matter what it tastes, because if they have to buy 3 bottles, so that's quite a lot of money. They're all about £24 each. You have to spend that much money, and you have to pay for it to come over to you. So you're not going to do that and then pretend that it's not very nice. I mean, you're going to go mad because you haven't had a chance to really taste it properly. Not many people like to taste wine and buy it without actually having had a taste. So this doesn't matter if it's tasty or not. As long as she sells it, it's all right. And then she's got other people's, she's got the duty, and their names and their activities and all that as well, and the on drink. Then she's doing very well, isn't she? She doesn't care if you really want it. She cares if people think that she's wonderful, and she gives it to somebody who will say that she is wonderful. It's so phony. It's absolutely phony. It's like her. I mean, she's phony. Everybody knows that now. Very few people think that she's genuine, and she treats wine and.
You know what's heartbreaking? Meghan's kids reportedly adore their grandmother. But even that bond wasn't enough to keep Doria from walking away. Not because she didn't love them, but because she needed to love herself too. She needed space, peace, and yes, respect. Meghan once spoke about wanting to be a strong, modern mother. But what about being a good daughter? In the end, Doria chose silence over scandal. She didn't go public. She didn't trash her daughter in interviews. She just left. And sometimes silence is the loudest scream of all.
People and jam all in a similar way.
Do you know what? She reminds me of like a contestant, Angela, on the TV show that used to be hosted by Donald Trump in the US, The Apprentice, and by Lord Alan Sugar in the UK. Everything she does with Was Never is just like she has no idea. And it's like, this is what I think I should be doing. And as I say, she really, really does look like an Apprentice contestant. But I guess, look, oldest game in the book, you send some free wine to your publications, which are completely on side with you. And of course, they're going to say it tastes amazing, because these people don't have credibility, because these are the same people, Angela, that say Meghan Markle is a lovely person and she treats her staff really kindly. It's like, we see you, we see through you, we know exactly what you're doing. But of course, if you do want royal exclusives that the royal rota are simply too scared to touch, then please do sign up to receive my Substack, where you get to watch the Royal Uncancelled After Show ad-free, live or on demand, first before anyone else in the world at www.outspoken.live every single weekday. That is www.outspoken.live.
Let's not forget, Doria stayed silent even when Meghan cut off her own father, Thomas Markle. She stayed loyal. But now even she can't pretend anymore. The breakdown of this relationship is a warning, not just for Meghan, but for anyone who pushes away the people who love them most. When even your own mother says, "I can't do this anymore," that should shake you. But the question is, will Meghan listen? Or will this just be another person she labels toxic and erases from her life? Only time will tell. But for now, Montecito feels a little colder. And a lot lonelier.